The end of Star Trek Discovery is almost upon us. Whether you love or hate this series, it's been an interesting ride. As we prepare for Season 5 of Discovery, the series' final season that started the modern Star Trek adventure, we must look back at how we got here. The Trek Central team and I have put together a story so far, look back each season to prepare you for the 5th and final season. If you need a recap of the events, you've come to the right place. Strap in as we walk you through Star Trek Discovery Seasons 1, 2, 3 and 4, also known as the story so far. I'm Captain Jack, this is Trek Central, and you're about to embark at Warp 10 on a spoiler-filled Star Trek Explained adventure about Star Trek Discovery. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to catch our Season 5 content starting this week, as it sure will be epic. We've included chapters in the description to help you navigate through this video, so if you're already familiar or up to date with a certain season, you can skip ahead to the next moment. Let's go.
Let's fly.
To properly recap Star Trek Discovery, we've got to go all the way back to Season 1. Originally airing in 2017, this brand new Star Trek series kicked off the modern adventure we now find ourselves in. As such, let's turn to Season 1 and begin the story. The story of Star Trek Discovery begins in 2256, 9 years before Captain James T. Kirk takes command of the USS Enterprise, as seen in Star Trek the original series. We find ourselves joining Starfleet Commander Michael Burnham on an away mission of Captain Philippa Georgiou, the first officer and the captain of the Starfleet Walker-class USS Shenzhou. Upon completing the mission of restoring a well on a desert planet, the pair embark on their next mission. Their next mission properly kicks off the Discovery series. Upon arriving at the binary star system, Starfleet discovers that their relay has been attacked. Burnham goes on a spacewalk and encounters a Klingon warrior. In a little bit of a falling out, the warrior is killed, sparking a conflict. Burnham hoped to prevent a war with the Klingons. This resulted in her turning on Captain Georgiou and assuming command of the Shenzhou. Instead, a battle started known as the Battle of the Binary Stars. The battle, which kickstarted the Klingon Federation War, was seen as a huge military loss for Starfleet. It claimed the life of Captain Georgiou, many crew members of the USS Shenzhou, and the ship itself. Burnham was court-martialed for mutiny and sentenced to life in a Federation penal colony. 6 months into the war, Burnham found herself unexpectedly brought aboard the USS Discovery while being transported on a shuttle. The Klingon Federation War between 2256 and 2257 became a significant part of Discovery's first season. In turn, the newly launched Crossfield-class USS Discovery became a significant player in the war due to its technological advancement of the spore drive system. This faster-than-light system allowed the ship to jump anywhere it wanted, within reason. The mysterious captain of the Discovery is Gabriel Lorca, who takes Burnham under his wing. Burnham is paired with Tilly, a young Starfleet cadet, and is revealed that Mr. Saru is the first officer of the Discovery. Discovery is experimenting with its spore drive system, which is led by Paul Stamets. Meanwhile, the Klingon War rages. T'Kuvma, who thought he was the new Kahless, aka the Klingon Messiah, is dead. Cole leads the Empire. This ruthless Klingon also kicked out other Klingons who followed T'Kuvma's teachings, notably Vok. It turns out Vok would later be revealed as Ash Tyler, or rather, Vok was turned into Ash Tyler and planted into the Federation. It's a long story there, to be honest. It turns out that Captain Lorca had been replaced by his Mirror Universe counterpart. After defeating the Klingon ship of the dead and the Klingon leader Cole, the Discovery is ordered to jump back home by Lorca. However, he chartered the ship to take them back to the Mirror Universe.
Let's go home.
Upon arriving, the Discovery had to pretend they were actual Terrans. While this is going on, Ash Tyler's sleeper cell connection is shown, and he's revealed to be Vok, a big surprise to the audience. Unfortunately, in all of this, he murders Dr. Hugh Culber, the chief medical officer of the Discovery and husband of Dr. Paul Stamets. Burnham pretends to be the evil captain of the USS Shenzhou. Tilly assumes command of the Discovery as Captain Killy, and they meet the Terran Emperor, who is actually the Mirror Universe counterpart of Philippa Georgiou. Captain Lorca attempts to take over the Terran Empire, as he's actually from this realm of space, but Philippa Georgiou and Burnham reconnect to take down Lorca and his attempt on Georgiou. This results in her rule being disrupted, and she is beamed to Discovery, who then escape to their own point in the universe. With Mr. Saru now in command of Discovery, the crew returns from the Mirror Universe to Primetime and attempts to contact Starfleet. Upon meeting a Federation starship, which conveniently had Admiral Katrina Cornwell and Ambassador Sarek on board, they learn that Discovery has been missing in action for 9 months. At this point, the Federation and Starfleet are on the verge of losing a war with the Klingons. The species has captured significant parts of Federation territory. Admiral Cornwell assumes command and takes Discovery and her crew to Starbase 1. Sadly, the Klingons have destroyed and captured the base. A drastic plan to end the war is designed. A strike against Kronos, the Klingon homeworld, is drawn up. It's also used for recently transported Terran Emperor Philippa Georgiou. After stopping off the terraformer moon, the Discovery is ready for its mission. Emperor Georgiou stands in as a recently deceased Captain Georgiou, and Discovery sets its course for Kronos. It becomes the first Starfleet vessel to visit the Klingon homeworld since Captain Jonathan Archer and the Enterprise NX-01. Discovery jumps into an inactive volcano cavern large enough just to fit the Crossfield-class starship. A landing party is led by Georgiou, with Burnham, Ash Tyler, aka Vok, and Tilly. It seems Starfleet and the Federation were going to commit genocide against the Klingons. They supply Georgiou with a hydrogen bomb. Upon viewing a simulation of what the bomb would do if detonated in an active volcano, Burnham believes this is what Starfleet wanted to do. Admiral Cornwell reveals that the Federation is close to defeat, and they don't have the luxury of principles. In a tense standoff, Georgiou and Burnham debate the principles of the Federation and what they've been ordered to do. Burnham eventually gets a bomb detonated from Georgiou and calls Ash Tyler and Klingon L'Rell, giving the bomb detonated to L'Rell, who will be able to unite the Klingon houses under her own leadership. Tyler informs Burnham that he's staying behind to work with L'Rell, and Georgiou is also departing into the unknown. As the Klingon fleet turns away from Earth, all seems peaceful. The Federation president officially pardons Michael Burnham and is restored to her former rank of Starfleet commander. Some of the Discovery crew members are promoted, and the ship sees Mr. Saru resume the role of acting captain. The Discovery and her crew depart Earth, with Sarek on board, and run into the USS Enterprise, under the command of Captain Christopher Pike. End Season 1. Star Trek Discovery Season 2 really tried to address fans' feedback and concerns with Season 1. It makes many meta-reference jokes about how Burnham is solely responsible for many things. It's a whirlwind ride across the galaxy. It introduced us to some classic characters reimagined. It also introduced us to some new core characters moving forward, and nails the special effects the whole time. This season's mystery is a series of red signals across the Alpha and Beta quadrants, picking up directly where the first season ended, with Pike's Enterprise dead in space and calling for help. We're introduced to Ansel Mount's infinitely charismatic Christopher Pike, even Speck's compelling troubled Spock, and Rebecca Romijn's confidently powerful Number 1. As Discovery tours the universe following the signals, they encounter the Red Angel, which leads Discovery where it's most needed. The brutally witty Jet Reno joins the crew once she is rescued from the USS Hiawatha from a dangerous rogue dark matter asteroid. An unexpected human colony in the far reaches of the Beta Quadrant is saved from an impending radioactive catastrophe, and a gigantic living sphere gives its hundreds of thousands of years of knowledge to the ship as it comes to an end. Our next major red signal comes from Kaminar, the homeworld of Mr. Saru. This is after Saru survives a perceived end-of-life event called the Baha'i. Saru returns to Kaminar and is briefly reunited with his sister before being captured by the Ba'ul, the dominant predator species over the Kelpians. We soon learn that the Ba'ul used to be the prey of the post-Baha'i Kelpians, as was a natural stage in Kelpian evolution. Still, the Ba'ul managed to take control and convince the Kelpians their life ends when Baha'i is triggered. A planet-wide revolution takes place, and the Baha'i of the Kelpians is triggered simultaneously, leading into an uprising over the Ba'ul. I'm glad I'm not Captain Pike reporting this to Starfleet, is all I'm saying. A connection between the Red Angel and Spock is established early on in the season, having mapped the signals before they appear. We also learn that Spock is on the run after suffering a crisis of logic and a race to apprehend him before Section 31 is on. Tilly is also played by a ghostly presence from her past, which briefly detours the ship into the mycelial network, exploring the ecosystem within and reintroducing the quasi-resurrected Dr. Culber. A complete surprise, previously on, recaps the events of the original unaired pilot, The Cage, and the episode takes Burnham and Spock to Talos 4. Spock, having previously visited the planet, relies on the Talosians to repair his fractured mind. It's a wonderful throwback to this period of Trek, and Peck really comes to his own as Mr. Spock. This season of Discovery heavily focused on Section 31 in this time period, and the much more prominent operations outside of their shadows within the Federation. It's also revealed that Ash Tyler is a member of Section 31, working with Philippa Georgiou and Captain Leland. Whilst in Deep Space Nine and Enterprise, this heavily covert organisation completely operate off of the books. In Discovery, they're somewhat all well known and integral to Starfleet operations through the use of an AI called Control. Section 31's powerful hungry AI gets a taste of the artificial intelligence data Discovery holds, which was gained from an encounter with a sphere entity, and it becomes a terrifying assault to get a hold of this however possible, starting with infecting the cybernetically enhanced Lieutenant Commander Ariam and turning her against her crew. Discovery makes a bold decision to attempt to trap the Red Angel by tricking it into appearing after they learn it arrives whenever Burnham is in danger. During a tense few scenes, it arrives and we learn that Burnham's mother is inside the time-travelling suit, and it was designed by Section 31. The danger for Spear data and the AI threat becomes even more apparent to this crew at this point, as Control begins to take over ships and brutally takes over the agency's head via Leland's body. Next, we get a major lore bombshell during a journey to Boreth to gain a time crystal, as Captain Pike has to confront his future in order to gain it. In an absolutely stunning scene, Pike learns his future fate in the chair, and to gain a crystal will be able to seal his fate permanently. The final of the season is an absolute treat as Discovery goes in an all-out conflict with Section 31, and only the USS Enterprise is there to support it. Burnham has decided to take a replica time suit into the future along with the Spear data to ensure it remains out of reach of Control, so the AI can't evolve and wipe out all organic life. In a heartfelt speech, the crew of the Discovery decide to follow Burnham to the future too. As the battle rages, Discovery's allies appear to support: Kelpians, Klingons, Queen Poe, which is giving Burnham and Spock time to send the suit back in time to send the original red signals which set the whole season in motion. The Enterprise is hit with an undetonated torpedo which could destroy half the ship. Pike attempts to use his set future to save Admiral Cornwell, but she heartbreakingly sacrifices herself to save the ship. In the thrilling climax, Burnham opens a wormhole to the future, leading Discovery through whilst cocooned by its allies, as Jojo managed to finally kill Leland. So here we are, at the end of Season 2. The Spear data is safe, Control has been neutralized, and Discovery is gone. After briefing Starfleet on the events of the final, it's decided the existence of Discovery and her crew must be classified at the highest levels, in order to prevent any danger like this occurring again. From a canon viewpoint, this works really well, considering most fans find it really hard to buy Discovery and its spore drive in this time period. Plus Spock's unknown sister, Pike and Spock return to the Enterprise as was appeared in Space Dog, teasing us with the potential we could see more of them again, and that we did with Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Season 3. So the third season picks up in 3188, where Burnham crashes on the planet Hema. Here she meets Cleveland Booker, a courier and her new love interest. She also learns from Vern the day the galaxy took a hard left when most of the galaxy's dilithium exploded about 125 years ago. As a result, Starfleet and the Federation was left in ruins. Another main plot element of the season is also introduced, the villainous Emerald Chain, an Andorian-Orion criminal syndicate. It's not until a full year later that the Discovery arrives. Shortly after, Adira Tal, a Trill, joins the ship from the United Earth Defense Force. To help them regain their memories, the Discovery goes to planet Trill. After this experience, Adira's former lover and former host of Tal, Gray, still appears to Adira. By the end of the season, Dr. Culber ends up promising to restore Gray's consciousness. After uncovering Tal's memories, the Discovery can determine the location of Starfleet headquarters, where they meet Commander-in-Chief Admiral Charles Vance. They prove their loyalty to Starfleet by finding a cure to an infection. The ship was welcomed into the fleet and they refitted with some 32nd century tech. Looking into the origin of a burn, Burnham and Georgiou lead a revolt on the Emerald Chain salvage planet Hulha. After this is off to Navarre, formerly planet Vulcan, to get some programmed data. After impressing Navarre and President Tarina, they get the data, and the process of unifying the Vulcans and the Federation begins anew. About all of this, Georgiou is acting a little off. It's identified by Dr. Kovich that travel through both time and universes is breaking her apart. Georgiou is sent back to the Mirror Universe, where she tries to reform the Terran Empire. After this revolt, the man on Danas 5 reveals himself as the Guardian of Forever, and sends Georgiou into the Section 31 movie. Coming soon! Wrapping up the third season, the source of the burn is revealed as an emotionally maladjusted Kelpian, Sakal. Born adapted to dilithium, he caused the burn following his mother's horrific death. Breaking the simulation, Saru takes him back to Kaminar to live out a normal life. Meanwhile, Emerald Chain leader Osira takes over the Discovery and, following a long cat and mouse game, is finally killed by Burnham. After solving a burn and dissolving the Emerald Chain with her unorthodox techniques, Burnham is officially made captain of the USS Discovery. Now, let's fly into Season 4 and see what's next for our crew. Season 4 opens at the start of a new decade, 3190, and a new era for the Federation. The crew of Discovery set out resolving problems for other cultures, and the teaser includes an amusing instance of miscommunication, which becomes a recurring theme over the season. In the opening episode alone, we learned that in the past year, 21 new members have joined the Federation. Starfleet Academy is about to reopen, and we get the reveal of a new Archer space dock from President Rillick. A new character of human, Bajoran, and Cardassian heritage. There is some early tension between Rillick and Burnham, with Admiral Vance, or the Dadmiral, mediated between the two strong personalities. Saru makes the decision to return to the Federation with encouragement from Sakal. In Star Trek tradition, this is very much the calm before the storm. Booker has taken a trip to his home planet of Quajon to visit his family. While there, they notice some strange behaviour from the local birds. Booker takes his ship up to investigate and sees them falling from the sky. He tells his family to get inside to safety before taking his ship into space, before witnessing firsthand the anomaly that would be known as the DMA tearing Quajon's moon apart. His ship, damaged by the debris from the moon, engages autopilot and takes him to Discovery. It's there that he realizes the true extent of the destruction. His planet and all the people on it are gone. Discovery is dispatched to gather more information, with the support of the Navarre Science Institution. While the Discovery crew managed to collect data about the anomaly using Booker's ship, they end up with more questions than answers. While the mission is ongoing, Culber and Adira are presenting Gray, who is still only visible to Adira, with a Soong-type android body created in their likeness. Gray's consciousness is transferred into the body. Through these events, Tilly is having a crisis of faith. She saw herself on a path to the captain's chair, but confides in Culber that she now feels lost. Culber mentions he had been contacted by Kovich, who requested a member of Discovery's crew to accompany cadets on an exercise. Tilly takes this opportunity and brings Adira with her. While the exercise doesn't go smoothly, Tilly realizes that she'd like to take up more of a permanent position at the Academy and leaves the USS Discovery. Admiral Vance assigns Ruon Tarka, who's been working on the next generation spore drive, to Discovery as an advisor. Tarka used to be imprisoned by the Emerald Chain and carries some physical and mental scars from his time with them. While his methods are unconventional, he and Stamets do manage to replicate the DMA on a smaller scale, proving it is artificial. The species behind it are primarily named 10C. Throughout the season, and especially during a mission into a subspace rift led by the DMA, Zor continues to develop as a sentient intelligence, later being declared as a new life form by Dr. Kovich. After this process, she reveals the origin point of the species behind the DMA, which she had initially been hiding. Cleveland, Booker and Tarka, united in their shared grief, seal a prototype spore drive to go to the origin coordinates. Tarka wants to try and reunite with his lost love and needs the DMA power source to do so. Booker wants to destroy the 10C to prevent other planets suffering Quajon's fate. Both aims require them to build a weapon, which leads to Discovery chasing a pair around the quadrant. This naturally puts a strain on Burnham and Booker's relationship. Tarka and Booker do succeed in destroying the first DMA, only for a more powerful one to replace it. This also reveals to Tarka that the anomaly is powered from outside the galaxy, and the chase turns into a race. Will Discovery or Booker's ship reach the 10C first? They catch up with Discovery stops to investigate the 10C's previous homeworld. It's fortunate they do so, as its complex hydrocarbons found there eventually provide the code needed for communication. Tarka turns on his partner in crime, once though into the 10C's hyperfield, damaging a fragile diplomacy Discovery was in the process of establishing. Fortunately, they managed to stop Tarka and regain the 10C's trust. Communication resumed, the 10C returned Booker, who was beaming out at the last moment before his ship was destroyed, and pledged to make things right after the crew explained what damage caused before then returned Discovery to Earth. Once home, President Rylack and Burnham reflect on the events of their own mistakes and the initial impressions of each other. Book is assigned to help families displaced by the DMA as penance for his crimes, and so Navarre has rejoined the Federation. The day is saved, but there's still much work to do. So that's the story of Star Trek Discovery so far. This is very much in a condensed fashion, and hopefully you found this video insightful and has updated you on the Discovery series. The fifth and final season of the show airs on April 4th via Paramount+. To learn more about how to join the adventure and watch Discovery, head over to our website, which is linked in the video description below. You'll find a handy preview guide for Star Trek Discovery Season 5. Okay everyone, thanks for watching. In the video comment section below, tell me your favourite season of Discovery. This video was a collaborative effort between multiple members of the Trek Central crew. So a big shout out to Connor, Mike, and James for lending their skills to this video. If you want to keep up to date on all the latest Star Trek news, lore and more, then make sure to hit that subscribe button to never miss a video from the team here at Trek Central. You can also follow us on social media or join our community Discord server. For now, I've been Captain Jack, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.